Hello, my little mathematicians. Today, we are going to quickly review adding and subtracting decimals. As always, if you feel like you know how to do it, click pause, try it, and then unpause the video and check yourself. When you're adding and subtracting decimals, you always want to make sure to line up your decimal. So I write my first number, and then I put the other decimal right beneath it, and then you have a 5.93. Now my decimals are lined up and everything in the correct place value is going to get added together. Okay, so put a zero placement holder right there above the 3, and now you just go ahead and combine them. 0 plus 3 is 3. 8 plus 9 is 17. Bring down that decimal before you forget. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. And 1 and 3 make 4. So my final answer is 43.73. And then it's kind of wise to just estimate to make sure your answer makes sense. So 38 plus 6-ish, yeah, that answer totally makes sense because that would be about 44, and this is about 43.73. Okay. For my next one, I have 25. When there's no decimal present, think of it like $25. $25, I just write like that because I'm lazy, right? But in reality, it's 0.00. It's implied that that 0.00 is there. So for this 25, I'm going to put a 0.00 right there and then subtract, put my decimal first lined up right here. And that 6 is to the right of the decimal. And then let's put a 0 placement holder right there. Okay, and now I have this that I'm combining. You cannot take 0 from 6, right? So for this one, 0 minus 0 is 0. But when I can't do this, I go to the number next to it and borrow. And then this becomes a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. Bring down your decimal. 4 minus nothing is still 4. And 2 minus nothing is still 2. And then that makes sense. $25 minus 60 cents is close to $24, right? I like to think of decimals in terms of money, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to follow along. Okay, my next one, just like we thought of up above, 27 is really the same thing as 27.0, right? It's not 0.27, it's 27.0. Put your decimal, and then you have 683 after it. So let's go ahead and put 0 placement holders there. I'm subtracting again. Okay. And you can't take 3 from nothing. So I'm going to borrow from the number next to it and replace that with a 9. Since there wasn't really anything there, I need to go to this one as well, and it becomes a 9. And there wasn't really anything there, so I need to borrow from the 7, and it becomes a 6. So now this is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 6 is 3. Bring down that decimal. 6 minus nothing is 6. And 2 minus nothing is 2. So that's 26.317. Okay. For my next one, again, 27 is the same as 27.0. So I'm going to line up that decimal, and you have 7.765. So let's go ahead and put 0 placement holders above there. I'm subtracting again. And you can't take 5 from nothing. So let's go ahead and borrow from the number next to it. That becomes a 9. Borrow from this one. That becomes a 9. And then borrow from this one. That becomes a 6. Now you have 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 7 is 2. And you can't take 7 from 6. So borrow from the 2. That becomes a 1. 16 minus 7 is 9. 1 minus 0 is 1. So now you have 19.235. When you're doing word problems, which ones let you know that you should subtract? If it just said more or more than, that would mean adding. But when it says how much more than or how many more, that is subtracting because you're trying to find the difference between them. So both of those actually mean subtract. Okay, how much left? How much is left over? You subtracted. You're comparing. You're trying to find the difference between them. When you buy and spend money, you're subtracting from your account, right? So actually, all of those meant to subtract. What about to add? Which one of these do you think means add? Well, all together, you're finding the total. Okay, and there's the word total itself right there. Sum is the word for an answer to an adding problem. And when you combine everything together, you're again finding the total. So all of those words mean add. Okay, think of any words that you think that weren't mentioned up above that mean add or subtract. And congratulations, my little mathematicians. Hopefully you understand adding and subtracting decimals just a little bit better.